I don't know. One thing I don't do is mind my rumors business. They want to tell me something, fine. But I don't ask. I mean, even a kid's got a right to privacy.
We wouldn't ask you to let us in if it weren't very important. Now, Mrs. Molina is a licensed private investigator. Please stick around, see that we don't do anything out of line.
Well, I don't see what you think you're going to find.
It's hard to say. We're looking for something. Some indication of where Amy might have taken my daughter. Or why.
Well, one thing I'm sure of, she never would have hurt your daughter. I mean, whenever she talks, whenever she says anything, it's always her Ryan. I mean, it's Ryan this and Ryan that. She's just never gonna hurt her, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, well, I hope that you're right. Did Amy ever mention any special places she'd like to take her to, or something special she might have planned sometime with her?
No, no place special. The zoo, the park. She liked the merry-go-round. Carousel, she called it. When I was a kid, it was a merry-go-round. Do they still have that brass ring anymore? I guess not. Dangerous, I guess.
Yeah, we already checked out the zoo and the playground, the parks, the place they went to on a regular basis.
Maybe you missed a note or something. I bet that's it. Now, she was taking the child out on an outing, and maybe she left a note, and it blew out the window or something. No, the Staten Island ferry. Oh, my kids used to be nuts about that. Well, they're all grown up now.
Yeah, well, no. They had to be back by noon, see, and Ryan always took a nap after lunch. Besides, we knew that Amy was upset. This is important, and it's a little hard to talk about. We just found out that Amy's been sick.
Her heart. She told me, but she's all better.
Yeah, that's what she told me, but that's not so. It wasn't her heart, it was her head. She had an emotional breakdown. She's been for some time. She was in a state hospital.
An institution?
A mental hospital. Now, that's where we're going to be going after we leave here to see her doctor. Now, you could help. Do you remember her acting strangely in any way? Did you ever say anything that didn't make sense? Did you ever do anything that made you wonder about her?
Well, she didn't say that much. I mean, unless she was talking about the little girl. Mostly she stayed to herself. Very shy kid, I thought. But with manners. Manners are hard to come by these days. But sick? No, I wouldn't have thought she was sick. Just quiet and shy. Oh, I wish I'd have known. Hey, what's she doing over there? Jack, take a look at this.
Trade places with me. I mean, really, I have a really good life.
I come from a village in Germany called Bredenbeek, so I took the first part called Breden.
Catherine and Eric, the full story in their words on Soapography. Saturday at 12 midnight, only on SoapNet.
My old man's gone. You're no longer going to get away with what you did.
A cop's haunted past comes to a close.
I can finally say goodbye.
And just when his future is about to begin,
what?
The unthinkable happens. Watch One Life to Live, weekdays on ABC and weeknights at 9 on SoapNet.
So you set her on his trail, and then what?
Oh, that's the maddening part. She won't tell me.
Well, I suppose you can't really expect your former wife to confide in you if she's found out that her present fiancé is a two-timer.
But his former wife led me to believe that there were many more than just two women in Barry Ryan's past. Now, I presently know of at least two. What I wonder about is what is the fatal fascination?
Oh, there's a certain kind of very beguiling liar who manages to win you over by believing completely in whatever it is he or she happens to be lying about at the moment. Sincerity and the enthusiasm are very convincing, especially if it's what you want to hear. The The sweetest lies are always the ones you want to hear.
So she believes that she wants to believe that he loves her and that he's going to cherish her.
And I'm sure he means it when he's saying
Yeah,
it.
but that is hardly a basis for matrimony.
No, it certainly isn't. Yeah, Kim's one of those.
I gathered you had her on your mind.
I'm sorry. My turn, you mind?
No, please.
Well, actually, she's been telling me the truth, and I'm not sure which is worse. I mean, I want her to confide in me. She's my daughter, but I tell you, I am appalled by some of the things she's been telling me. And I'm responsible for some of it. No. This is not random guilt. The fact is that every time I try to help her, I do make things worse. My child is talented, right?
So I've heard.
So, what does Mommy do but introduce her talented offspring to her old friend, Elliot Silverstein?
The producer.
The very same. And doesn't Elliot just happen to have the perfect vehicle for my child scheduled to open on Broadway in the fall? And doesn't my child just happen to manage to give a wonderful reading for the lead and get it?
Ray, that's incredible. That's wonderful.
Incredible, yes. Wonderful, no. The timing could not be worse.
Why?
You know how much Seneca wants to have a family?
Well, of course, but surely he's not going to stand in the way of this big break for Kim. It'll take a little time, a year or so, but I mean, after all, she's too young anyway.
She is pregnant now.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, she wasn't planning to tell him about it, but he found out anyway, and he's beside himself with joy, and she's been acting little mama to the hilt. She is not even told him about that part, or the fact that she fully intends to accept it.
Well, what the hell is she going to do?
Have an abortion.
Oh, come on now. Seneca wouldn't allow that.
She doesn't need his permission.
She'd risk their marriage, their entire relationship?
Absolutely. Oh, I mean, knowing Kim, it's going to be a very carefully calculated risk. She is certainly capable of any lie which might seem necessary, but the thing that disturbs me the most about all of this is the fact that she genuinely loves him, and she wants to make him happy. But she is also perfectly capable of destroying the child that he wants because of something that she wants, and she wants it now. And then on top of that, she is capable of pretending that everything is absolutely terrific and believing it.
Well, that's a sobering thought, but not entirely surprising, given her record so far.
Yeah, and she's made me a party to it. I encouraged her confidences. I wanted them. I believed it was part of a new beginning for us. But I tell you, I don't want to hear any more of it, Roger. You know, I find myself feeling sick for Seneca.
All right, but on the other hand, Ray, Seneca knew all there was to know before he married Kim. He knew that she was a desperate young lady, and he still loved her. So basically, it is Seneca's problem.
He doesn't even know he's got a problem.
That's true, isn't it?
Oh, no, wait a minute. No way. If he finds out, it could be traced back to me, and that would destroy everything I've managed to build with Kim.
To say nothing of inspiring her to new heights of nastiness.
That, too.
You know, Ray, darling, I'm afraid that this gives me an idea.
Olive Ryan.
These are new pictures. I never seen them before. She must have taken them herself.
Well, she has a camera. I've seen it, a cheap little one. Ryan at the playground, Ryan in her rain slicker, Ryan at the park, my baby on her tricycle.
My baby.
Well, sure. Lots of people call a kid that. I mean, that doesn't mean she's sick. Jack, how long has Amy been with you?
A couple months.
And Ryan's 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
Look.
My baby at 28 months. Ryan's second birthday. But she didn't take these. I did.
She swiped them. She rated your photo album.
Yeah, I guess. Well, Mary was keeping an album on Ryan. It was never up to date. It's a couple of shoe boxes of loose snapshots with writing on the back. When, where.
Looks like Amy helped herself. Well, it's not like she's stealing. I mean, she should have asked, but doesn't it show how crazy she was about the baby? I'd say so.
Look, I'd like to take this with us. I want to show it to Amy's doctor.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, suppose she comes back. Suppose she's upset. Look, they're mostly his pictures, and they're all of his kid. All right.
Look, if she does come back, you give us a call right away. This is the number.
We never have to go back outside again. Isn't that wonderful? We have our own little house. I even brought you all your favorite food, like pickles and bananas and peanut butter. There's lots of stuff out on those shelves. You know, this is a real fancy restaurant. I bet they have every food imaginable. You know what? When I put you to sleep tonight, we'll make a little bed for you over there. And then I'll go out and get a whole bunch of that food. So then we'll have enough for tomorrow. Now, I don't think they'll mind, though, because we don't eat that much. You know, we even have our little wash basin. We have soap and towels and water. We don't need anybody or anything. No mean people who don't love us. I'm so glad I'm here to love you, Ryan.
I have got the greatest news.
Every weekday, spend twice the time with the gang from Beverly Hills.
What a way to get acquainted.
Double the Dylan, double the David, double the Donna. Catch back-to-back episodes of 90210 today starting at 5 with another episode at 6, only on SoapNet.
What can I say, man, other than want a double date?
Amelia Heinlein got her feet wet selling makeup as Mia Saunders on All My Children. Now you've got her every night as Victoria Newman on Y&R. The Young and the Restless, weeknights at 7, only on SoapNet.
In New York City, there are 8 million people, but even the most distant strangers are only 6 degrees and 6 connections away from each other.
What's wrong?
Whose life will you change?
You in some kind of trouble?
And who will change yours?
6 Degrees premieres Thursday, 10/9 Central, only on ABC.
I don't like that look in your eye, Roger. It has an air of one-upsmanship.
Ray, how would you characterize our relationship?
Friends?
And?
Former lovers? Former lovers who are still good friends? Good friends who know each other so well that we periodically get together for mutual therapy sessions, which have probably saved us both a hell of a lot in analyst fees? I'm not even close.
Oh, old friends, good friends who know a lot about each other. In fact, we know an alarming amount of information about each other. I think you could say that our relationship, the intimacy of our relationship, is based on a delicate balance of that information. I mean, I knew that you were responsible for Frank Ryan's downfall, and you knew that I was responsible because of a medical mistake for my brother-in-law's death.
An honest mistake.
Of course, but I handled it dishonestly. I changed the records, and I was foolish enough to let you know about it.
Oh, but then we were equal.
Now, then the scales were tipped when Kimberly turned you in.
Darling, has that been disturbing you? I haven't been keeping track, Roger, I promise.
Of course, and neither have I, but I have to admit to a nagging little bit of discomfort when the weights shifted in your favor. But thankfully, you just provided me with the equalizing material.
We were speaking in the strictest confidence, Roger.
Of course, we always do. And I see no advantage in letting Seneca know that his young wife doesn't share his enthusiasm for parenthood.
You wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't. Not unless I had to. And that would be a terrible pity if I did, because your relationship with Kim would be bound to suffer.
God knows what she'd do.
If she were thwarted by your indiscretion, and if you ruined her big chance on Broadway.
What do you want from me, Roger?
The cassette. That is the loose end that needs to be tucked away. You see, you very crudely but effectively slipped a recording device under this couch and then forced me into discussing my responsibility for Tom's death. See, I would feel so comfortable if I had that tape in my possession. Then I would never see any reason to disclose Kim's little secret to Seneca?
Oh, dear heart. That you feel compelled to blackmail me. After all we've been to each other.
Because of all we have been to each other.
Ah, yes.
I am sorry, Ray.
Uh-huh. Of course you are, sweetie.
Thank you. The delicate balance has been restored.
Roger, tell me something. If we've just restored the balance, then how come I just gave up the upper hand?
Well, I think I charmed you into it.
Hmm? No, that's not it. Charm is not the right word. You threatened me.
Yes.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Tell me, would you really have gone to Seneca?
No, I doubt it. The last time I tried to save him by telling him the truth, he was extremely ungrateful, but you never know.
No, you never do know.
You won't hold it against me?
Oh, of course not. No. I'm sure somewhere I really wanted to give it back to you. Here's something, Roger. Seems to me that the strongest basis for an honest relationship has got to be mutual distrust.
I will certainly drink to that, my dear.
Next, seduction rules the bedroom and the boardroom on The Young and the Restless. Then it's All My Children, followed by One Life on SoapNet.
He's a legal eagle
Michael, I'm counting on you to make this happen.
Let's do it.
who can get down and dirty.
Sounds pretty sleazy to me.
That's the way the game is played.
That's why attorneys are held in such high esteem.
But he cleans up real nice.
I'm asking you, Lauren Fenmore, in front of all these people. Walk through life with me.
Get to know Michael Baldwin. He makes being bad look so good.
There is nothing sweeter than the sight of you in my doorway.
I could think of something sweeter.
The Young and the Restless, next on SoapNet. What's new in Port Charles? Here's what you need to know.
I'm having my abortion at 7 tonight. You are not going to talk me out of it.
It's technically a medically induced coma.
Okay, they're gonna be able to bring you out of it.
I don't know that that is the case, no.
Oh, Mom.
Yeah, I just want to...
You're not going anywhere.
Keep up to date with General Hospital. Weeknights at 10 on SoapNet.
We seek it out. A miracle food that nourishes the mind and body. We call it the egg.
What you're going to take away from the show, I hope, is a laugh. You're not going to find necessarily the meaning of life, but you'll find a lot of information to make your life easier.
Everyone needs a little R&R. Rachel Ray.
Airing weekdays. Check your local listings for time and channel.
Homeowners, want to get cash and simplify your bills? Ask about a combo loan from Countrywide. It's a refi that you could use to combine your first mortgage, your second mortgage, your car loan, and all your high-rate credit card debt into one easy loan with one low monthly payment. It could save you hundreds every month. Call America's #1 home loan lender now and ask for a combo loan. No one can do what Countrywide can. Apply now.
Call 1-800-642-0833.
Her letters indicated that she was happy and secure, certainly attached to the little girl, but no hint of anything pathological.
My mother-in-law was the first to remark that she felt Amy was becoming too involved with Ryan and me. Now, I noticed that she was a little possessive, but I didn't have time to think it through. You see, there was an accident. I was covering a fire, and I had to receive treatment for smoke inhalation in the emergency ward of a hospital. Amy went all to pieces. I tried to talk to her about it afterwards, and she panicked.
In what way?
She got very upset. She said that the job meant everything to her. She'd do anything to keep it. It was then that I realized we were headed for troubles. So I told her, as gently as possible, I'd help her get another job in the neighborhood so she could still see Ryan. Then there was trouble with the family. I had to go uptown. When I got back, she and Ryan were gone.
And you say she went to Michael Pavel. That's interesting.
Michael said he called because he was worried about her because she was behaving strangely. He had trouble getting through to me. When he finally got through, Amy and Ryan had disappeared.
What we're looking for, Doctor, is any light you can shed on her condition, her possible behavior.
I don't feel entirely free to discuss the details of the case.
Obviously, you must have thought she was cured. Otherwise, you never would have let her out of here.
We know about the abortion. Michael told us. But he didn't know she'd been hospitalized until he just talked to her father a little while ago. Now, her father didn't even know she'd been released from the hospital.
That was Amy's idea, and quite frankly, I concurred. The home environment was unsupportive.
Then there really isn't anyone to whom you're responsible, except Amy herself, considering she's of age.
That's true enough. And under the circumstances, I think you're entitled to some information.
How sick is she? And what would it mean for Ryan?
When Amy came here, she was very sick indeed. In the throes of an extreme reactive depression.
Because of the abortion?
That was the final trauma. But it has to be seen in the light of a lifetime of rejection and insecurity. Her parents didn't want her. They didn't like her. She grew up in a fantasy world of her own making. She wanted a home, a husband, and a child for whom she could make everything right. She saw in Michael a chance to make that a reality.
She got pregnant on purpose?
I wouldn't want to say that. Certainly not consciously.
She did.
In any case, Michael promised to marry her.
Yeah, he's a decent kid.
But his mother stepped in. She's apparently a strong personality.
I happen to know the lady. Well, that explains. Amy referred to my mother-in-law a couple of times as my mother. She said, your mother doesn't like me.
Amy would probably be threatened by any strong female presence.
She sure hated me on sight.
I'm beginning to get a picture of what may have happened. She had found what had appeared to be a secure environment and had established a loving relationship with a child.
Ryan is almost exactly the age Amy's baby would have been.
Having that situation threatened may have precipitated a serious break. Not that you could know, of course.
On the other hand, she didn't put that photo album together overnight.
Amy Morris is a fragile personality at best. When they brought her here, she was completely out of touch with reality. She hadn't been able to withstand pressure from her parents and Michael's mother to have the abortion, but she couldn't live with having done it. Her solution was to withdraw completely. It was many months before we could reach her. A year and a half after that, she had recovered sufficiently to be released.
Sufficiently?
This is a large and overburdened facility. She got the best care she could get under the circumstances. The prognosis when she was left was very good.
What about follow-up?
She was referred to an outpatient clinic in Brooklyn. I placed a call there earlier today. Apparently, she never went. In time, our facilities would have checked that out. But our caseload is so massive. Amy was very nearly well, but without supportive therapy.
Is Ryan in any danger? Would Amy, according to your understanding of her illness, do her any harm?
It's difficult to say. Amy was never violent. But she must be carrying about an intense, deeply buried rage. It's doubtful that would ever be directed against the child. But clearly, it's an unpredictable and volatile situation. And the sooner they can be found, the better. If there's anything I can do, I'd like to try.
Come to Mommy, baby.
You're not my mommy.
Come to Mommy, Ryan.
No!
Life in the Midwest is anything but boring. Glamorous divas, forbidden love affairs, and backstabbing families. Bay City is nothing but drama. Another World, today at 1 on SoapNet.